listen whenever you make a call. If you want a revolution, I really give it to y'all. Strength is the army that hands against planes of dead presidents, determined the life of mankind. Of cancerous, how we breathe vapors. Greek got us blinking in streets like cheap paper. I sever the masses, melt the plastic, compound, realign when the shit gets drastic. Lift the veil when the system's unmasked. It's just another pyramid scheme, a government racket. Divide with the power with Charles Jurassic. Nation T-Rex with covert tactics. Rise from the ashes to back the atlas. Bring the madness.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am Maven, joined by Rel. We've got an exciting match ready for you. Faze going up against Liquid. Tell me, all right, I know much about the Faze roster, obviously. They've been just absolutely crushing. They won the last UMG. #2 team, maybe the #1 team in a lot of people's eyes. Tell me a little bit about this European roster.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Italians, it's essentially the best Italian team that could be produced here. Of course,
Okay.
they're going up against Faze, and they are going to be very heavy underdogs going into this. But they've got Pibbo, Duke, Kolga, and Donny, who have competed internationally. They've qualified for World Championships in the past.
All right.
It's kind of the best that Italy can produce here.
Okay. All right. Well, this should be excellent stuff. I mean, this, I don't see it being one that FaZe can drop. Just with the way they've been playing, they've been on such form. Whether you're talking tournament, whether you're talking online in Season 3, they've been pretty much rolling. I can't remember the last time I really saw them drop a series, much less drop a map. The thing that stands out for them the most is their hardpoint is absurd. They just dominate everyone when it comes to the hardpoint game type. So this game 1, it looks like we're going to be on Detroit. Whew, this is going to be a tough one for the Italian team.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to FaZe, they're actually currently 9-2 in the MLG Pro League. Top of the leaderboard there, absolutely storming through the competition, and as you say, coming off the back of a win as well. Optic would have normally been going into a tournament like this heavy favourites, but I think a lot of people are putting FaZe as the predicted champions.
Yeah, I actually picked FaZe to win this one. Honestly, for me, it just came down to, I mean, has Optic been the better team over the past 6 months, over the course of Advanced Warfare? Yeah, absolutely. But you're only as good as your last finish. FaZe looked much stronger. They 3-0'd Optic. I know Optic had to battle through the losers bracket. I know they had a long day. It was like 8 hours of playing. I get that. But I didn't see anything out of Optic after that event to make me think they were a better team than FaZe. And I haven't seen anything out of FaZe to make me think they've dropped at all when it comes to their motivation, their determination, the way they've been playing. So that's why I stuck with FaZe. You're as good as your last finish. They won the last event. They beat Optic. I don't really see any reason personally why they can't do it here.
All right, well, it's going to be really interesting. Of course, a lot of money on the line here. $100,000 is the prize pool, and every team that qualifies from the group stages will be getting a share of that. So group stage is really important. I mean, it's essentially a double elimination bracket within each group, but
basically,
the best way to think about it is two wins and you're through.
Exactly. You get those 2 wins, you get through. Now, I have to check something. I saw, again, if this is incorrect, you're blaming Benson. This has nothing to do with me. This is purely off of Twitter, but I read something that said if FaZe and Optic both win their groups, they can't meet in the final, which means they must match up in the semi, I guess, and with it being single elim. I hope that's not true.
Okay.
But that's what I read on Twitter, and Twitter never lies.
Twitter never, ever... The internet always tells the truth. Yeah,
correct.
I mean, we'd have to double-check that. It's certainly a possibility, I guess, but...
I wanted to check that before we got started, and I didn't have time to take a look at it. But if that's the case, I mean, that's the matchup we all want in the final, obviously. That's what you want to see. But that might be the case. We'll see how it breaks down.
All right, well, we'll see how it all pans out anyway. But, I mean, yeah, we've got up in front of us here 2 great teams, though. FaZe going up against Team Liquid. So, as we say, FaZe, some highly accomplished players from there. Probably most notably Clacer and Attach as of late, given the Call of Duty World Championship that they've just taken away. Yeah,
and it's just they have... The main thing for me with this particular team, I think they have arguably the best communication of any team in the Pro League. Epsilon possibly being the worst right now in the North American team. You know, they see them struggling a lot due to communication. You see FaZe dominating due to it. Part of it is just due to you have very vocal players, and Clacer's known to be very loud, very vocal. Enable comes from his Halo background, where I still will stand by this. You can roast me all you want, but Halo players communicate 1,000,000 times better than Call of Duty players. It was the first thing when Gandhi and I switched over to Call of Duty. It was the first thing we talked about. Like, what the hell? We're listening to player comms. Like, this is just horrendous. I know it's a lot faster. People die a lot quicker, so there's not as much you need to communicate, but when you get a chance this weekend, you get to listen in with a team like FaZe versus a lot of other squads, you'll really see, man, they're on another level.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see how they play, and we will certainly get listen-ins later in the day. But for now, it is Detroit hardpoint between these two teams. As we say, the Italians heavy underdogs going into this. Later on, though, I'd
say heavy.
Very heavy, yeah. Search and destroy Riot, uplink Biolab, capture the flag Solar, and search and destroy recovery if it does get that far. But Hardpoint Detroit, I mean, I said this at the start of the last series, it's probably my favourite Hardpoint map, so fast-paced.
All right, well, let's kick things off. It looks like we are going to be watching former Halo professional Enable, see what he can do on this roster. This is I guess, the most comfortable, the best I've seen him really slaying on a team since that, honestly, that Justice squad. That we kicked things off with the start Advanced Warfare, and he was really crushing. He's been dominating on this team. I think he only went, what was it? He went like negative in 2 maps or something at the last UMG. He's just been crushing Rel.
Yeah, puts up huge numbers, and Enable, of course, temporarily featuring under the Optic lineup as well, so he's got that wealth of experience behind him. And Clayster coming from Denial alongside Attach there, so sticking together two of the, arguably the strongest slayers of the team. Going to see how they perform now as they do get off to the strongest start there, 10-8 very early on.
And Clayster rolling here, already on the 3 streak, should be able to make it 4. He had 1 player outside a window, might make it 2, but Zuma is actually to clean one up. And now, the player really to talk about with this roster, are they incredibly talented? You're seeing Clay on a 5 streak right now, just shredding. But the player, in my eyes, that has been the most dominant lately has, without question, been Zuma. Whether it's online, whether it's LAN, he has been on another level.
Yeah. And I think people are starting to give him the recognition that he deserves as well. People are realizing that obviously Enable, Clayster, and Attach all have these bigger accolades behind them, so to speak. But Zuma is a standout player. We'll actually see what Zuma can do here and see what he can produce.
And that's, you know, he got, I think it was Puckett that first started to really, really get hyped about him. This is back in Ghost. And he said if he was making a new team right now, Zuma would be at the forefront of it. If he was talking to a fantasy team, building a roster, whatever it was. And this is like, I'd say, probably 3/4 of the way through Ghost, he started to say this. And Zuma goes off, wins a couple events in Ghost. And then in AW, man, he has just really been a monster. And now he's on a squad where he can truly showcase it. Because, dude, they're going to be, unless something crazy happens with this roster, I just don't see any reason they're not making it to every finals.
All right, well, let's see how it all pans out. Really strong start from them, though, here. It was actually the Italians that got the first few points on the Atlas Cube, but it has been so dominated here by Faze up until this point. Hibbo, though, now just trying to sit on that garage slope, hold things down as we do go onto the rotation.
And we'll see if he's able to lock down this back ramp. He's got a little bit of help here with players pushing in through window. He's got to deal with a lot of aggression from Faze. His teammate able to bail him out on 1. Can he win the second gunfight? He is able to win that versus Zuma. The other player comes in through window. He got caught kind of between a reload and a melee, not able to pick it up. We're now on with Enable. He's going to be in a similar position, though, trying to lock it down for the Faze side. He's got 1 player pushing through door, able to pick him up. You can see via the COD vision the player going to be coming window, which he gets, and also a player was going to be pushing ramps. And, you know, they just going to time that a lot better. You got to hit that pinch at the same time. A player hit door, a player hit window, and a player hit ramp, like a couple seconds apart. You got to try and hit that as a cohesive unit.
And Enable was just, you know, single-handedly spinning around there, pre-aiming each single point, and that was really the downfall of the Italians on this hard point. They are continuously trying to push in here with 10 seconds left, still unable to produce anything as Zuma picks up a big 2-piece.
Zuma right now on a 3 streak. I know I went off for a bit, talked about him for a good 60 seconds earlier and how great he's been, but you'll see it. I mean, in respawns right now, I think it's in hardpoint actually. In Season 3 for MLG, he has the top kills. I think it was 53 or 50. I believe it's 53. He's leading in like the highest slaying number. He's been the most consistent slayer throughout it as well. Let's see if he continue the streak. He is eventually going to fall. That'll end at 4, but he's leading his team at 13-11. On the other side, Duke 16-10. He 17-10. He's on a 7 streak. Oh. He was having no issues with Faze in that hard points. He went off, and they're still trailing pretty big, but he got him a good 20 points.
Yeah, and this has really been, I've got to say, this has been Liquid's hardpoint. They've really soaked up a lot of time on this, and you can see them slowly clawing their way back into this game. Still a 30-point deficit for them to fight against, but a lot of points remaining.
And they're only trailing by about 20. Well, they're absolutely staying in this. You know, if you would have talked to me about a minute ago, I thought this game was about to be a 250-50 game. But now you see them climbing back in it. Attacher trying to lock down Skull. His teammate, Enable, going to be able to clean that up. This will be the final hard point in the first side of rotations. Right now, Faze set up very, very nicely to get this, and that's due to a big part of Zuma. He completely locked down that garage wall side.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Liquid did get back into the game on yellow hard point, but as soon as we switched over to School, Faze were just set up so well, and there wasn't really any way that the Italians would be able to penetrate that defense. I mean, you can just see every single kill here going towards the Faze clan. Clayster picking up 2. Pibbo does get the Exo Slam on Clayster, but again, all the kills generally going towards the Americans.
And Zuma on another 5 streak. He's 20 and 14, going off right now. Kind of a race with regards to slaying between him and Duke currently. Zuma up to a 6 streak. Just crushing right now inside of school. He's still not been taken out. Leading the way right now. Donnie finally going to fall there. But Zuma up to an 8 streak, just crushing right now for the side of FaZe. He's going to be getting the garbage time and going to be the player going to have to rotate over. It's actually, it looks like the entire team's going to have to try and rotate mid-map to try and win this. But again, this Atlas hardpoint, it's funny actually because this is usually a hardpoint that's pretty split. You can't usually get a lot of time. I think it was last week in League, I actually saw them get 50 points in the second Central Atlas. That was FaZe. That's ridiculous.
Wow. And yeah, that's it, just unstoppable. I mean, they found themselves in this Atlas cube once more, and you can just see as Zuma pushes out there, he's just locked down that cutoff point. Only one player needs to be in the Atlas cube, that being attached. Zuma should be able to make light work of anyone that pushes on it.
Let's see if he can keep this streak going. He's already got to double digits, just trying to hunt. Finally, he'll be taken out by a player that wraps all the way to school window. That's going to flip the spawns here as the lower side of the map is going to be controlled here by FaZe. But they're actually going kind of back and forth. Right as I thought they flipped, they're going to flip right back to a school spawn for FaZe. 15 seconds left on this one, and we'll be rotating. So as close as they were able to bring it, Liquid, it's been the lead's right back out to 70.
Yeah, and it's just such a massive deficit, really, for Team Liquid to claw back. I mean, 160 to 80. It's double the points now. They are performing twice as well, and it's really showing both in terms of the slaying and in terms of the strategy. Every single time the hard point comes up, it's immediately Team FaZe that are getting around and getting on it first.
Another 5 streak for Zuma. Clay on 4 as well. I feel like every time I look at the kid's stream, he's got some kind of streak going right now. Up to 7. He just died at 10. 10 seconds ago, it seems like he's already back up to 7.
Yeah.
Do you understand now what I'm saying? The guy's an absolute freak.
Unstoppable. I mean, as you said, there was a slight... Oh, he managed to get one there. I thought he was going to get shut down straight away. He did have a slightly slow start, but really picked things up. And you're exactly right. It's incredible to watch, actually. 2 back-to-back.
He's 18 and 2 over the last...
Yeah.
over the last couple of minutes.
Exactly, and he's making it look very easy, and so are FaZe Clan as a unit. I mean, look at Attach there, 11 captures just for himself, and it's quite interesting to see Clayster with none. Clayster obviously providing the support and fire for his team, and just trying to work the slaying ability.
Clay able to pick up one here. Mid-street, going to fall. 3 minutes left. I mean, one more hard point like this, and it's going to be, I mean, is it already getting to the point? It's going to be mathematically impossible here in 20 or 30 seconds, I think, as long as they can control this hard point. You can see inside of school, they've got control. The kill feed all blue, just being lit up for FaZe right now. Zuma just shy of 40 kills already, and everyone on the other team just breaking 20.
Yeah, and it's nice to see the Italians here not giving up at all, though, still bringing the fight, but they are just getting shut down. Team Liquid getting overrun by the FaZe Clan once more. Donnie there drops Duke and Kolga try and unite. Duke still alive, but does get shut down, and every single time we see these engagements, these skirmishes, team on team, it's always the FaZe Clan coming out on top. For the most part, outside that one hard point. Oh, yeah.
That's it. One hard point is really the difference between this being a very big blowout, but they don't get 100-point club. They're going to be able to get to the 101 scoreline, but this one basically mathematically impossible right now as we have 2 minutes left. They're up about 120. Yeah. It's pretty much going to be game for FaZe right now. You see Clayster back streaking. He's on a 3 streak. He's at 37 and 21. And this has just been... Again, outside of one hard point, pretty dominating effort from FaZe.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a shame as well to see Duke, who was previously, I believe he was 17 to 10 when he was in yellow. He's really slipped
he went off.
Yeah, and he's really dropped back towards the closing stages of this game. But as you say, Maven, it's not going to matter all that much because this is now impossible for Team Liquid to get back into it. It is going to be a victory for FaZe Clan in the first of this best-of-5 series, and a very convincing one at that.
Yeah, and the players you kind of think would go off there, Zuma and Clay, both going massive. They've pretty much got the same stat line right now. 42 and 24 for Zuma, 43 and 23 for Clay, just going nuts. And then you mentioned the man attached. That's a great game. I mean, you're 27-27 with 12 captures. You have the same amount of captures as the rest of your team combined, doing his job and doing it well.
Yeah, a very objective-based play from him. And I think, looking at the way that Clayster and Zuma are playing this, they're not actually going for the hard point anymore. They know they've won anyway. I think they're both wanting to drop a 50 bomb here. And I just say, really matching each other on stats quite evenly.
Yeah, is this a race right now between Clay and Zuma on who can get to 50 first? And he's on a 5 streak again. And a number of streaks this kid has had has just been completely wild right now. He's 2 off 50. Clay getting close as well. And this is just, I mean, from a purely slaying standpoint, I mean, leave the score out of it. This is one of the most dominating efforts we've seen so far this weekend and in recent memory on land. This has just been complete control by Faze.
My goodness, 51-25, an 8 streak again. It's probably about the, third?
It's third or fourth 8 streak. Just think about that. That's completely absurd. You have players at this level that can't get one 8 streak at a hard point across an entire tournament. I'm pretty sure Zuma had 3.
Yeah, and you know, just watching him there, he wasn't even struggling. He made that look very easy. 51-25, that scoreline. 8 kill streaks to finish things off. Certainly something to keep a note of for the later stages of this game, because I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of that, particularly on the uplink game mode. And, wow, I just cannot see Team Liquid really getting anything from this series.
No, their hope right now is they have some Italian secrets when we're going to S&D. They're going to pull out some plays here on offense or defense that they're going to throw this roster for a loop. The fact remains they just couldn't hang. They didn't have the talent. They weren't winning the gunfights. They really couldn't hang in the respawn. Yep. S&D, though, completely different game mode. Has Advanced Warfare. It really hasn't been like, all right, think of Ghost. Champs last year. Mm-hmm. The way the Australian teams, even Spanish teams, the English teams, like it's just they pulled out stuff that caught our American teams completely off guard. We were horrendous at S&D for the most part at Champs last year. Yeah. That hasn't really been the case in Advanced Warfare. I think because there's maybe just less to it. It's more about effectively trading, whereas there was a lot more strategic play to kind of Black Ops 2 and Ghost. Do you think that's part of it?
I mean, I guess so. I suppose when it comes to search and destroy, there is always that slight element of luck, whereas Hardpoint is this long, drawn-out 10-minute gameplay where, you know, there's a lot of points to play for. You can sometimes pick up rounds just by getting a lucky kill, sitting in a corner, COD timing, right place, right time. But generally speaking, the superior team will come out on top. There's a lot of rounds to play in search and destroy.
Yeah.
So it's not, you know, if it was a one-round game, then maybe, but
yeah,
I think I can only see Faze.
And the scary part is you have some very strong S&D players on this Faze roster as well. Honestly, I've seen Enable go clutch. I've seen Clay go massive. He's a guy that can come out of nowhere with those like 15 kill games. Zuma, Mr. Flank. He's going to be getting in behind your roster, picking up those 2 and 3 pieces when you least expect them. This is a very, very lethal team. And I talked earlier about their communication, how good it is in respawn. It's as important, if not more important, when you're talking about that in S&D.
Yeah. And I think on the flip side for Team Liquid, that the best hopes here in this search and destroy is going to be Donny and Kolga. These guys have been around for such a long time in the Italian scene. I know they've competed in European tournaments for longer than the 2 counterparts, Pibbo and Duke, and they do have that international experience as well. So they've kind of got to bring that experience to the table now, because this is where it matters the most. This is the group stages, but the first game of a group stage is so important.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, especially with how it plays out. You know, this isn't round robin. It's just that kind of GSL format. You're basically in your mini double elimination bracket. Mm-hmm. You win 2, you're in. You lose 2, you're out. Yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to break down. So every game that much more important in this. Now, it looks like Game 2 is going to be going to Riot S&D. We'll see who kicks things off to start this. Now, the big difference about this map for me compared to your other S&D maps is really this is one of the only ones, if not the only one, where offense is favored. This is one where you actually can get a lot more done on offense. It's relatively easy to get bomb plants, easy to get offensive kills. The team that picks up that second defensive win is really the team that's going to shine for me.
Yeah, and it's, you know, as you say, the attacking side, it's generally the A bomb push that we'll see almost every single time. I think the only time we ever see B is if they just want to randomly try something different, or, you know, maybe there's only 1 or 2 players left, so they have to have time to go for the flank. But you usually see this very aggressive push towards A, and I don't see this being any different. I just want to see it's 4 ASM1s here for Faze. Yeah,
so you're going to see very aggressive push. Now, the only thing that I think can hurt Faze here is that you won Game 1 in such dominating fashion. Maybe you've... Okay, no, I'm just going to end my sentence because it's not remotely valid.
No, so that's going to be probably the quickest round.
I was going to say, you know, maybe you take them lightly, maybe you come out slow. That was the opposite of anything I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't think Liquid Gaming were ready for that at all, and that's a very, very quick and convincing round there by FaZe Clan. And the attacking side, I mean, they didn't even go really for the bomb plant there. That was just purely going for the...
No, I think they had one player in the back that tossed a few grenades really at that level 3, while 3 other players flew at it with subs, and it was just overwhelming here for the Italian roster, not able to deal with that. But here they go, their turn on offense. We'll see what they're able to do. Looks like they're going to be playing it fast, maybe a little bit slower than we saw the push from FaZe. First blood going to go to Zuma. Clay, Zuma gets a 2-piece, 1 left again, and this plays out almost identical but flipped. Like, it was like the same type of thing. They get 3 real quick. That 4th player is able to get 1 before he drops. Doesn't matter offense or defense. Faze lining them up.
Yeah, I mean, Faze seems to be very heavily focused on these fast pushes and just making first blood because they know he can just trade off the kills from now on in. But collectively, as a unit, if you've got 4 players running at you, there's no way you're going to take out all 4.
No, and that's what we saw there kind of as a push. I believe the first time I saw it was from Optic Gaming. They'd be on defense. It's so hard to defend A. They would just soar 4 people over. This
Yeah, so they've really used that element of surprise here. As you say, be a very unusual bomb site to push first. You usually, or may only send 1 player just around that area to go and check it, but it's been completely exposed. Donny's done really well to actually pick up that kill against Attach, but it's still 3 versus 2.
And you saw Zuma fly in. I think he went hunting, but that's going to end up being a bit of a punishment, but there... Faze able to clutch up, and that was almost scary because Zuma went hunting after that player, Donnie, that got tagged up. Clayster, thankfully, is the one player that plays patient here and is able to close things out. As he was probably frustrated. His teammates just went flying there after that first drop.
I've got to say, that's actually really unfortunate there for Liquid Gaming. They had a great chance to actually take that round, even though they were at a man disadvantage going for that defuse, or going towards that bomb area even, but Clayster there, big 2-piece to actually take the win. Donny is going to be the bomb carrier, but again, straight away, it's Zuma with the first blood, and things not looking great for Italy.
Not looking good right now. 4-3 advantage. Donnie might get caught. Yeah, he's just running into the wall. He's going to get pushed. Zuma's going to come flying at him. Nothing you can do about that aggression there. Bal versus sub at that range. You're not going to win it. The Duke in the back of the spawn. He gets caught. He's running for his life.
Duke here just staying alive. Does get shut down straight away. And again,
look at them flying right now.
This is it. I think they were going for the pincer attack on him there. He completely cornered himself. There was nowhere he could go. And that was always going to be a round.
You got the entire Faze team chasing you into spawn.
Yeah. And he's running away. He does not want to engage, but he had to. He had no other choice, but that's going to be 4-2 now. And again, Faze striding ahead of Liquid Gaming.
All right.
Who do we want to watch here with Faze Clan Maven?
We're going Zuma. He's 7-3 right now. He's leading the way. He had a monstrous game 1. And he is going to be someone that, again, he just soars, soars, soars. He is going to fly at you, trying to protect the way here for a potential bomb plant, but bomb carrier that was enable and engage him mid-map. Thankfully, didn't drop the bomb in a tough spot.
Well, again, it's another first blood hit going towards Faze Clan. Zuma should be able to make that kill, and 1 versus 4, a very quick round again towards Faze Clan. And you know, the rounds that they're winning, they're making it look so easy, but it's only the rounds that we're seeing from Liquid Gaming. It seems to be this slow, drawn-out.
Yeah, they're the real battles, right?
Yeah. And, you know, if we see another quick round, I can only see this being 6-2 now to Faze Clan. They've looked very dominant in the rounds that they've won, and it's only these rounds where they've tried something different that it's not paid off.
Well, they're 1 round away here from taking a 2-0 lead in the series.
Let's see what's going to go on with the Moors, though. Pibbo is actually going to try something a little bit different here. He's only actually going to come head-to-head with 1. It's going to be Attach. Oh, and he's really unfortunate. Huge snipe, though, by Attach to actually make that. That was a really
and that's one he had advantage on, too. You know, he's pre-aimed there. Attach is trying to come around the corner and challenge that, and he's just going to lose it. Donnie now, 6-5. Going to be in a 1 versus 2 with 35 seconds on the clock. He's going to have to clutch up here. Looks like bomb's going down, and they've got the defuse. He went to stick it. Caught him right in the face. Clayster's lighting up a body. I thought he had a chance to hold that off, but unfortunately, the reaction a little too fast there from Clay.
Yeah, not really much that could happen there. So 6-2 is going to be that final score line, and I'll be honest, I'm surprised that we actually saw 2 rounds being taken by Liquid Gaming. I don't want to take anything away from them at all. But
well, the way the first 2 started off,
exactly.
You're like, oh god,
yeah,
this is going to be a 6-0. This is going to be a 6-0 quick.
But still, great search and destroy gameplay, and you know, following a 250 to 110 win on the Hardpoint Detroit, followed by that 6-2 win on the search and destroy Riot, Uplink, Biolab, and North American teams are recognised as being far superior to Europeans when it comes to Uplink. I don't think it's looking good here for Liquid Gaming.
No. This is the definition of not looking good right now. Unfortunately, FaZe playing too strong right now. Now, are there many American teams kind of in that even like top to middle to lower tier that I think could struggle at times against, you know, a little more successful to upset? Yes. I just don't think when you're talking the 2 top teams for me right now in Optic and FaZe, they aren't really susceptible to being upset. You have too many on each team. You have just driven players, whether it's they're talking about Clayster on FaZe or maybe Crim6 on Optic. When you have players like that on your roster, They'll get in the other player's face. They'll get hyped. You're not going to... You just won't usually lose matches you're not supposed to. It very rarely happens, and it's tough for this Liquid team. Faze playing too strong right now.
Oh, absolutely. And again, when we compare kind of the standings in the respective leagues in Europe and America, as I say, in the MLG Pro League, FaZe Clan topping the charts there, but Liquid Gaming are so far down. They're actually in the Championship side. They're not even in the top league for Europe. So you can kind of see this only going one way. Liquid Gaming heavy underdogs, but they've put up some sort of resistance, but it's just not been enough. So
they're going to win BioLab.
They're going to win by 11.
They're going to win BioLab.
Oh, they're going to win BioLab.
They're going to win it. They're going to take it. Liquid's going to take it.
Okay, that's a bold claim.
I'll go streaking through the movie theater.
I was going to say
through the whole mall.
I can't say I support you on that, but anything can happen. But just to be more precise, Liquid Gaming. So we have the kind of the Premier League, if you like, of the European scene. These guys fall into the Championship League, and they're only 4th place in that. So quite far down. They're currently on 3 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. And again, going up against FaZe Clan, who are 9-2. They've won 2 5K.
I love your little notebook, man.
I've got all the stats.
So Rel's one of my favorite people to cast with. I cast it for the first time at Champs for Ghost, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was. And like, Puckett was like, we got a good solid team here. I know you have him at Rel. You're going to love casting with him. Like, he has all sorts of notes. He's very knowledgeable. This dude pulls out his little black book.
Not just any
switches
black book.
over to page 172. He's got stats on every player, their age, birth date, like mother's maiden name, all of their stats broken down for each game type. It's amazing. It's fantastic. Hey, no, it's good.
It is what it is.
I don't know how to write, otherwise I would.
Well, I'll do the writing for you.
Thank you, Rel.
Here we go. So it's going to be BioLab, Uplink, and is there anyone you want to particularly start off watching here? I mean, we've seen a lot of Zuma, and we've shown him a lot of love. Any other player, or is it going to be Zuma?
No, let's start off with Donnie. I think Donnie, what we've been switching through, I think Duke and Donnie have been the two that have really, for me at least, kind of hung close with the gunfights. We've seen them kind of go on streaks of their own, try to combat this FaZe side. Let's kick things off with them, see what they can get going. Unfortunately for you, Donnie, you got headshot immediately. Yeah, I mean, one thing I would say about Donnie is probably the most vocal person, not only in Europe, sorry, not only in Italy, but I'd say the European scene. You know, we have some very loud competitors. We've got the likes of Marky B, who likes to scream and shout, and you know, many others we could name, but Donnie can get so hyped. And look at this, a really promising start actually from the European. What did I tell you?
This could be, you could be right, Maven.
Oh, so if they take this game, I'm actually going to go streaking through this theater.
Well, you said.
And by that I mean I'm going to take off my blazer and run.
You promised that you've got to do it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what 30 or so seconds in, you get a dunk through, and Donnie coming forward now. He's got a player top blue. Unfortunately, going to catch the fist there from Enable, not able to get off any kind of 1-point toss. And now we're going to see a green wrap here, and this is I guess my favorite way to score from this side. You're on the weaker side right out of your face. It can be very hard to push through snow. It's such a long process of, killing out through purple and elbow, going through snow. It can be very difficult to get those dunks, get those 1-point plays. It's a little bit easier at times. You got to wait for the team to bring the pressure for you, get an interception, get a couple big kills, and you're able to fire it. And this is what I'm talking about. If they can get through, he should have a dunk here. Yeah. But you rely so much on winning a couple key gunfights or dodging bullets there. That was a really good route by Zuma to get that dunk through. Yeah, and great job. And you could just see the support of his teammate. It was actually, I think, Enable that was just lurking around snow, providing covering fire. And even if he's not making those kills, he's keeping the enemy occupied. As 3 go down, that's great work by FaZe Clan. They tie it up very, very quickly. And the big thing is, all right, look at purple right now on the minimap. It is all FaZe. If you're FaZe, you want to control purple. If you're the side of Liquid, you need to control blue. Both of these going to be completely controlled by the side of FaZe. That's going to allow them to have drone control and also apply pressure. They did lose a gunfight inside of Bio, which is going to cause Attach to rotate over. He gets one. There's actually a second player here, though, trying to dash to the side. Going to pick up both. That's a 2-piece. Can he find a third out in snow? Eventually, might get it. No, going to run out of bullets, but they're still flying forward. There comes the 1-point toss, and that's going to barely go through there. 3-2 advantage for FaZe. Yeah, and I love the way Enable actually did that. He went so vertical with that throw, a huge trajectory on it, and it just meant there was no way it could be intercepted. So very smart play, and they do just edge out in the lead. Duke able to clear off his base with the help of his teammates. And this is going to allow them to get forward. They're going to try and wrap here. And they might beat the FaZe rotation. There's only one player that really got there in time. This should at least be 1 point.
No.
Oh, God. Duke spaghetti arms it. going to come up a little bit short there, and this is what I was talking about. If you get a missed opportunity, and this was from the wrap green, but still, it's such an easy counter there. You wait for a miss, you wait for an interception, you wait for a couple big kills, you wrap it, you can score within a matter of seconds. You saw that there from Faze.
I mean, that's so unfortunate. He did the right thing by going for the throw. I don't think he was ever going to pull off the carry capture there, but he had to be accurate for that exact reason. Completely countered. Not only did he lose out on securing a point of his own, but he cost his team 2 points.
Oh yeah, when you're on the side that you are for Liquid right now, literally the worst thing you can do in the entire game is miss a shot.
Yeah.
Give up an interception or miss a shot is the worst thing you can do because it leads to such an easy counter like you just saw. But Enable and crew have got control of Bio, and there's only one player to beat, and that player won't even have a chance to get shots on him as he's got other players to work on, and that'll be another dunk. They're starting to light it up right now on the scoreboard. They're pulling away.
Yep, and remember, it was actually Liquid Gaming that did get that first carry capture. They took the early lead, so it's been 7 consecutive points back-to-back. The throw again.
And this should be it. This might be a wrap. If he can get it, this will be a wrap.
Let's see.
Can he not find it? He cannot find the drone.
Is it locked out of place? I don't know. I mean, it's sat right at the back. They need to at least get rid of it if it is still on the map. It's gone.
Yeah, I guess it was in a position he couldn't reach because you saw, I didn't see you highlighted, but there was a player there at the bottom left of the map that was on the drone for a bit. Yeah. I didn't see where that fell to, but that was another one of those spots, a missed shot that would have led to 2 points. They've got a little bit lucky there.
All right, well, here we go with Clace now pushing through Biolab, straight through Square. He is going to go up top, is he not? No, he might be able to just make the slide and push here with the added armor. He is going to be able to secure a further 2 points, 9-2 now. FaZe Clan striding ahead.
Yep, they need one more to push it to half. I mean, there's only 20 seconds here, so it shouldn't matter much. They'd like to not let up points to Liquid, but Liquid, I think, is going to counter dunk here. And they're able to get some points here in the final seconds, so they bring it a little bit closer. Good job by Liquid. 9-4, not something you can't come back from, but the sad part is, though, you're going to be on the weak side here for side 2.
Yeah, and that is going to close the first side out. As you say, 9-4 attached, just tried to get off a throw there, try and get a final point, but still a very convincing lead by FaZe Clan. This is coming off the back of 2 huge wins for them as well. So the pressure now all on Liquid. Not only are they 2 rounds down in a best-of-5 series, but they're currently training in game number 3 here, 9 points to 4.
And this is what's scary about this FaZe team. You know, you had monster games in the game 1 respawn out of Clayster and Zuma. Now you have Attached just going in right now, 19-9. The rest of the team getting it done on the objective side. You've got 2 for Clay, 4 for Zuma, 3 for Enable. This is arguably the most well-rounded team right now in Call of Duty Esports.
And this is it. You're highlighting a very good point. Each of these players can turn up at any given moment. This isn't, you know, a team that's carried by 1 individual or 2 individuals. They all bring something huge to the table here, and it's just proving too much here for Liquid Gaming. That being said, though, Jukes made a great push there, and I think, it was only the 1 point. He got shot just before he could actually land the carry capture, but still a point on the board for the Italians.
Well, and I think that's what makes them, too, a big part of why they're a little more scary for me than Optic right now. That's the scariest part of Optic, too, is the fact that you have 4 players that can put up monster numbers and go off at any point. But who do you think's hungrier right now of those 2 teams? It'd be hard to argue that it's not FaZe. Optic's won everything under the sun for 6 months.
Yeah.
FaZe, they want to take Optic off the map, man. They want to be that top team.
Yep.
They certainly have the hunger for it.
And as we say, bringing 2 world champions now in Clayster and Attach into this team is really going to assist them in doing that. You've said yourself the current performances, both online and offline, have really questioned whether Optic have what it takes to beat them.
Yeah, and that's what the thing I think I've been looking for the most of this event, is to see how FaZe and them will match up again. I wasn't sure if we get a FaZe team as strong as they were recently at UMG. I mean, I know this is their first series, but so far, I know they're not playing competition like Optic Gaming right now, but they look good, man. They just haven't really had any gaps, haven't had any holes, just looking overall very, very strong.
All right, well, Donny getting shut down there. Enable, nice 2-piece, and the uplink drone just goes out of play. No one's actually going to be picking that up. Still 5 seconds left for someone to make the collection. It is going to be Enable now, who is going for this big wraparound.
We'll see him wrapping here through blue. This should be an easy 1-point toss because the player goes right over his head, I think. There was someone there to beat him at blue, and they just, I guessed wrong. Thought maybe he was up top with the drone. He pushes lower, gets an easy 1-point toss in. Now it is going to be control here for Liquid again. We'll see what they can get done. He tries to fly at Zuma for the melee. A little too predictable. Zuma just holds his heart in there, able to pick up the kill, and now they're going to be flying forward yet again.
Yeah, and it just seems to be this uphill struggle now for Liquid Gaming. Everything that they're trying isn't really paying off. They're getting the odd scrap point here and there, but map control is completely going towards FaZe Clan. You can see that both in terms of the kills and deaths, completely being outslaying Liquid Gaming. But if you just look at the minimap, the spread of the players is just so advantageous for FaZe Clan.
It really, really is. They are just firing at all cylinders right now. Just over 2 minutes left to go in this one. They still have the 11-5 lead. Drone control, going to go to Liquid. We'll see if they can push through purple and try to get control or get any points on the board. There's still one player to beat at purple, though. Make it 2 players to be at purple. That's attached. That comes up with a 2-piece. He's able to shut it down, Rel.
Yeah, this is something Momo touched on earlier, the fact that one of the brilliant things about Uplink is it doesn't take much time to get back into the game. So even though there's only 1 minute 50 left, that's just 3 carry captures to tie things up. So if Liquid Gaming can get some sort of conveyor belt system going, they could produce something. Donny with a big 3-piece actually really opened things up, but Clayster just prevented him from collecting the drone.
Duke trying to get shots in here, win a gunfight, and so not able to push forward. That's going to leave nothing really for the drone carrier to do. He can't get forward, especially since he's got Zuma in his way to beat at purple. And they're just playing time right now. 90 seconds left. They don't really need to go for points. They can just focus on getting kills right now around the drone.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it's probably going to go from here on in. You're probably not going to see many more points actually on the board because, I mean, I'll just expand the minimap briefly. They have actually been temporarily shut down, but you can just see the way that FaZe Clan are just rotating around the uplink drone as opposed to going for that pull. There's no pressure on them at all to capture any more points.
Not whatsoever. They've been comfortable with this lead. I think they had 10 on the board. Well, I mean, they had 9 at half. They had 10 on the board in the opening minute or so. They've been playing very, very slow. Really throughout the end of the second half. Once they thought they had the game in the bag, they haven't really applied much pressure with the drone.
All right, well, 44 seconds left on that clock. Let's see if anything can happen there. 3 go down against FaZe Clan. The uplink drone has been picked up by Duke. Currently has 3 captures already, and he's trying to make a push here. He's trying to go for that 2-point play. It is a little bit too late to actually pull this off and take a victory, but we could have seen them bring that score back somewhat.
And time winding down here, Rel. 20 seconds left. This is going to be a 3-0 for FaZe. Last second efforts here coming in from Liquid. 1 player left to try and beat on the defensive end, and they will ultimately shut this down. Nope, and that was Clayster that shut down Kolga. Not able to get through a last second dunk. So as it ticks away, I mean, what can we take from this? I guess the main thing, FaZe looks like FaZe. Looks very, very strong. We didn't see them slow down at all. Definitely looks like a team primed to take this tournament. And on the other side, Liquid, do you think they have a chance to make it out of group play right now, or do you see anything that made you think they may have a chance to?
I think they're going to really struggle. I think FaZe Clan are a guaranteed win, and when you compare Liquid Gaming to Team Infused and Team Caliber, the other 2 teams within Group B, I don't see the Italians actually qualifying. I wouldn't write them off just yet, but they are up against some formidable opponents. What was quite interesting actually about...
What, Infused and TK, is it?
Infused and TK. They're the other 2 in Group B, so I don't know if we're going to see the Italians advance any further. That opening game, though, 9-4 was the scoreline in the first half. That finished 11-5, so in that second half, there was only 3 points in total.
Yeah, and again, that was denial. That was FaZe going over to strong side. So I think that was more of a, listen, we have control, we have in the bag. We can just kind of pick up kills around drone. We don't really need to go for points. I only saw them push 3 or 4 times, really. They weren't really getting forward that many times.
Very slow-paced, that second side. So what we can take from that is the way that FaZe Clan will get that initial lead. They'll really punch through, and they actually had a very strong start. I think at one point it was 5-0, but a very strong start nonetheless, and then they just kind of slow it down and hold on to the lead, and that's what you may see in the other games later in this tournament. Yeah,
well, we are going to go to a commercial break, but we do have a lot of great Call of Duty action coming up after this. Tweet the stream. Don't go anywhere. There should be a game going on Alpha, so you can tune into that before our next match begins. So, I can't hear you.
I got...
Huh? I didn't know. Cool. I can't hear you.
dust and stay with you. You can help me breathe, but only if I let you. I wanna let you in, but easily forget you. Try to settle down and try to worry less. 'Cause when we face the eye, I hold you in my chest. All my life I've been so cold. I break the hourglass and watch time unfold. And I try to make it back in this raging sea. 'Cause I'm way too deep. 'Cause I'm way too deep. Lost my friend so close to me. They say find happiness and faith. What the hell is that supposed to mean to me? And everything is gray, nothing is in color. Believe me when I say I'm not like any other. Try to settle down and try to get some rest. And lay with open eyes, head against my chest. All my life I've been so cold. I break the hourglass and watch time unfold. And I try to make it back in this raging sea. 'Cause I'm way too deep. All my life I've been so cold. I break the hourglass and watch time unfold. And I try to make it back in this raging sea. 'Cause I'm way too deep. 'Cause I'm way too All my life I've been so cold. I break the hourglass and watch time unfold. And I try to make it back in this raging sea. 'Cause I'm way too deep. 'Cause I'm way too deep.
There's a pyramid of power with eyes that can see it all. Cameras to capture your image at City Hall. Realize they listen whenever you make a call. If you want a revolution, I really give it to y'all. Strength is the army that hands against bands of dead presidents, determining life of mankind. Of cancerous, how we breathe vapors. Greek got us blinking in streets with cheap paper. A simple the masses, melt the plastic compound. Realign when the shit gets drastic. Lift the veil when the system's unmasked. It's just another pyramid scheme, a government racket. Combined with the power of Charles Jurassic. Nation T-Rex with covert tactics. Rise from the ashes to back the axe. Bring the madness. Capture your image at City Hall. Realize they listen whenever you make a call. If you want a revolution, I really give it to y'all. Strength is the army that hands against bands of dead presidents, determining life of mankind. The cancerous, how we breathe vapors. Greek got us blinking in streets with cheap paper. There's a pyramid of power with eyes that can see it all. Cameras to capture your image at City Hall. Realize they listen whenever you make a call. If you want a revolution, I really give it to y'all. Strength is the army that hands against bands of dead presidents, determining life of mankind. Of cancerous, how we breathe vapors. Greek got us blinking in streets with cheap paper. Assemble the masses, melt the plastic compound. Realign when the shit gets drastic. Lift the veil when the system's unmasked. It's just another pyramid scheme, a government racket. Combined with the power of Charles Jurassic. Nation T-Rex with covert tactics. Rise from the ashes to back the axe. Bring the madness. Capture your image at City Hall.